everyone, Waba here. I wanted to talk about why streamers ask you not to trauma dump. I know the word trauma dump and the term trauma dump has a lot of negative connotations oftentimes, but the reason usually for those kinds of rules is to keep not only themselves safe, but also the community safe. I always advertise myself as an open mental health talk place and queer safe space, which means that if someone does say something that is potentially triggering, people are allowed to come in and out. We try to keep it a safe space, and it can feel like a safe space, but obviously, not everything is going to be 100% safe because some triggering topics might come up when discussing things in a general sense. So just to define, trauma dumping is very similar to venting, but it's done in an unsolicited and unprepared way. When a person dumps, I'm reading off a Twitter thread here, when a person dumps traumatic thoughts, feelings, energy onto an unsuspecting person, whether it be a close friend or a stranger on social media. And this can be very dangerous because if someone comes into the chat and just immediately starts unloading everything that's ever happened to them and goes into excruciating detail, it becomes a moment of panic for me, or a moment of panic for anyone that happens to. And the reason that streamers ask not to trauma dump is because it's not that they don't want you to have access to the help and resources, or they don't want to avoid talking about something. It's just that they're not equipped to help you in the way that you need. I always enforce that my streams, my community, is a peer support system online, but it's not a replacement for therapy. It's not a replacement for getting professional help from your doctors, therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, etc., and so forth. So when I let people know that you're safe to vent in my chat, there's a marked difference between venting and trauma dumping. And I tell people that if you really feel that you need to vent something that could be potentially super, super triggering, and you want to be mindful of the people there, because that's what I ask, that's my bare minimum, is just ask first before you say something. Mental health event channel in the Discord exists. It exists there for a reason. You can put a spoiler on your message. You can put trigger warnings as well on your message, so that way not everyone has to interact with it if they don't want to, right? Because there should be that choice, there should be that consent. And that's the boundary that I draw for myself and my community, which is that if someone wants to say something that might be potentially really, really triggering, I tell them to ask first, be mindful, what is happening in the current situation. We're mental health talk focused first and variety gaming second, but that doesn't give people permission to just dump something all of a sudden, that's their first message in chat. Hey Waba, I'm about to do XYZ thing, or hey Waba, this awful, horrible, detailed thing happened to me. What do I do about it? I need a little hi hello first. I need a little bit of hey, I'm not having a bad day. Can I talk to you about it? First. Give us a little moment, just a little. Basically what I'm asking is that, sharing or venting about a traumatic event is not wrong, but there's a time and place for that. I make a time and place, usually the beginning of my streams, for that kind of thing, especially on Mental Health Monday. Consent is a really, really important thing, and I understand if someone is in a crisis situation, they might not be, in a mental space to be mindful about that. But again, Twitch is not a crisis line. We're not 911. We're not a substitute for therapy. I try to do things in a very intentional and mindful way, and I ask for all my viewers to do the same. So, in conclusion, if you want a place where you can get some love and some support, and if you want a place to vent your feelings, to talk about things that's happened to you, you can, in my chat, mostly in Mental Health Event channel in the Discord. But most of all, the biggest thing that I ask is to respect me, respect the community, respect our boundaries, and be mindful of what's going on. Read the room before you come in, before you start chatting about something, ask for permission. I don't think I'm asking a lot of folks. I usually take people where they're at, but, and I'm getting better at responding to people that have done that and do that, where they come in very hot to the chat. But please, I ask you to just pause for a moment. That's all. Okay. Thank you. Please take care of yourself out there. Have a great day, and I'll see you real soon.